is everyone this morning? I'm sorry, I'm still getting myself a little situated. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. Hello, Felicia. How are you? Excuse me. Thank you very much. Okay. How's everyone this whatever the time is where you are this morning or whatever it is? How's everyone today? So I'm still having some cord issues somehow. Pull that out. Thank you, Jenna. How are you this morning? Actually wasn't sure I was going to be using my headset, at least for now, but I decided to go ahead and use it. Okay. Let's see. Get myself situated still. Alrighty. Andy is here. Hello. I like your new name, actually. Andy can't stay, but wanted to say hi and hit the like button. Thank you very much. Okay, is doing pretty good. Have been editing all morning and think I'm hitting a wall energy-wise. That's understandable. Let's see. Let me go ahead and go into an intro. My name is Heather Dewey Pettit, and I am a writer, editor, and artist. And so what ties all three of those things together is my love of fantasy and science fiction. As a writer, in the last several years or so, my focus has been mainly on fiction. However, I have had lots of ideas that are related to the editing side of things, as well as the writing side of things. I've, excuse me, I have written essays in the past, and in a way, I've kind of gotten back to that a little bit because of some of the content I have on my Substack is essay-like. So yeah. So mostly my fiction has been of science fiction and fantasy genres, and so I do have a novel that I've been working on for some time, and so my current goal is to get the to get the manuscript finished by the end of the year, I hope. I also have some short stories that have been on the back burner. One of which I have been working on lately, and I'm hoping to. I was sort of looking at it from the standpoint of outlining recently, and that has helped a lot. And that's nothing I did when I was younger. So getting distracted with the chat. Uh, um, and yeah, getting okay. Lost my place. um, but I kind of lost my place, but anyway, so that particular short story, has the main character's she's a mom essentially, she's a mother, and it's mostly science fiction, but I would say I would say there is an element of horror to it, just a little bit. And and so I have a couple of other short stories also kind of hovering in the back of my head. Um, and real quick, my novel is a essentially it is women's fiction, except for my main character is 18 years old. um, and so it's got elements of YA fantasy. So it's so yeah, it's a little bit of a genre bending. It has a little bit of genre bending going on. So so yeah, so there's that. So moving on, as an editor, I am a freelance line editor, copy editor, and proofreader. I also do sensitivity reading. And I mentioned that in a newsletter um 2 weeks ago, from 2 weeks ago. Um um and so let's see. Um and so in terms of editing, I will read, a lot of things. I do like um most everything, except for I don't really do um uh, I don't really do erotica, and I don't really do what do you call it, body horror and stuff like that. I don't do that pretty much anything else. uh, uh, but I am looking to specialize further in science fiction and fantasy, that umbrella, the speculative fiction genres. Um, I, in the past, I've done a lot of editing for nonfiction authors, and um, as well as I did things like I copy edited a magazine for a couple of years. That was really cool because it was it was for a health magazine, so that was a lot of interesting. Um, but anyway, more distraction ensues. As an artist, I love um, using water-based media. So I love watercolor and gouache and inks, and this the artwork you see around me, that is my own art, and that was made with various. It was made with watercolors of various strengths and dilutions, and excuse me. Uh, I sprinkled all that on a gel press, put some watercolor paper on it, smoothed it, and pulled it off, and this is what I got. And I really love using gel presses, and I would like to talk about that later. So, um, also, I do have a coffee shop and an Etsy shop, and I do have some links below. Anyway, that's out of the that's out of the way. I might have to take a break here and there because my son is home from school. Um, uh, I can go into the first sprint momentarily. So, Let me just go ahead and grab a timer and and we can get started. Let's see. I have a lot of windows open, as you know, your typical creative type does. Stereotypical, I should say, probably. I do love that all of this talk about um, all the edit, all the I mean uh, nerd stuff. Anyway, Jenna slid over from Facebook, and I don't. What is this, Ninja Glomp? um, yes, Jenna, it's definitely a good reason for having Substack, because I can kind of slip in little essays here and there. So it's yeah. Um, Glad to be writing more, and she says, and not to be teaching it so much on the daily now. Yeah, yeah. Um, about fellow nerd stuff. How do you pronounce this, guys? Is it otaku? Because I don't know. I might be a bit of a nerd too, but I'm not. I don't really follow that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, I'm just I had a couple days there where I didn't get much sleep, a couple days in a row, and I'm still trying to catch up, I guess. uh, yeah, mug merch. I keep thinking about that. I made something up last year that I thought about, because I have days where I'm working on my own things and my writing and stuff, but I also have some days, sometimes, where I have a like client work. So um, going through the comments a little bit here, um, and so I thought of like having a mug for client work and having like a mug for just creative stuff. Um, so more That's interesting. Codaing. The to-do list with shiny items. Okay. We need to get Yes, I agree. We need to get some things done. Jenna, um, thank you very much. Yes, and I'll be talking about my art during one of the breaks. Um, don't let me forget. Jenna. Um, yes. So I can talk about this during the first break. There we go. Not the next break, the first break. That I was working on a sort of prototype for something. Um, I have some art things over here on my desk, just a couple. Um, so why don't I just make a point to do that during the first break? Cool. It sounds Japanese, so I think they do the stresses on the penultimate syllable. I do believe, as in a lot of languages, actually. Anyway, awesome. Anyway, so during the first sprint, what's everybody working on? If you want to, what's it? State your intention, um, and we can get this started. Somebody else popped in. Melina Knox. Hello, hello. Good morning. And it is still morning here where I am. All right. we're going to go ahead and get this started. Let's just do this at 20 after. Oh, look at that. It is now, according to my laptop. All right. Well, remember to sit up straight in your chair if you are at your desk. Remember to drink your water. I also have coffee ready because I need another cup. Okay. Let's go ahead and get things started. If I don't hear, I do often use these 25-minute sprints while I'm thinking about it, for 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 my streams, for my sprinting streams, because they are very handy. It's a good amount of time for most people. For most people, it's a sweet spot. Um, Sorry. Um, and they're really great. So I'm going to go ahead and get things started, I guess, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's sprint. All right. How did everybody do? What did everybody do? I almost didn't hear that because my headset was off. I did some parenting actually. Because school is not in yet for the 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 fall. So um all right. Let's see. So yeah, mostly did some parenting, but I also looked at some notes for a Substack post actually. Well, I looked at for a couple of them. I actually have like a couple in process. um, yeah, like three. Trying to decide what to do next. So yeah, I have lots of ideas actually. This one, which I was thinking about putting up um, this week, um, is about the love of science, fantasy, and science fiction, and how that can have a link. I'm having like problems here. How they can have a link or have a kind of a correlation, I guess, is really what I want to say, to neurodivergence. So it's something that I have noticed over the last I don't know, probably several years now that I really started thinking about this. And then I happened to mention it while I was involved with a writing conference this year, earlier this year. This was back in February. And I couldn't stop thinking about it, honestly. I mentioned it in my I've already mentioned it in my notes as a good beginning of that, because I was talking with some editing colleagues about this subject, and this other person and I kind of kept going back and forth about it, and they were like, how we both kind of discovered this link, and it's probably a good way to go about finding clients that would really work for us. So it was really an interesting conversation. Um, so what did everybody else do? I did also. So I was looking at some notes, some parenting, and that's pretty much it. um, so yeah, how did everybody else do? Also, Barbara Parrish came in, and Diane. Hello. How are you guys? And no, I kind of jumped too, but as I say, my headset was not on, but it was loud enough that I could hear it. Yolanda, yes, everything. I have a lot of links in the description, but I can pop that in. I will also be putting up the heart breathings information during the next thing here. The thing during the next sprint. Let's see. And that was our 5-minute break. I just wanted to say real quick, no problem. Thank you for coming by, Jenna. I appreciate it. And I will, yes, I will pop my Etsy link in and some of my links, and also the heart, all the heart breathings information I need to put up, which I haven't done yet. All right, see you guys on the other side. I'm sorry I missed the break. Some things came up. Apologies. But let's see. I did pop my link tree in the chat. I think we'll have one more sprint, by the way. Also, Melissa Mel of Power Play Press popped in. Thank you very much. I also popped in a link to my Etsy and my Ko-fi. And I also put some heart breathing related things in, including the the Facebook group. And I also popped in the website as well. Also, Rachel D. Adams came in. Hello, 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 hello. Also, Len Gray. Hello. Also, KJM Writes. Okay. Yes, let's go ahead and do this last sprint. And cool. I love having people from the UK in my sprints. I am fascinated with it. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the other side. Okay, what did everybody do? How did everybody do? Scratch that, reverse it. I need you to know what that's from. So yes, more of a variety of things, including parenting, and I also finished setting up to take photos of some artwork that Jenna had mentioned earlier on in the sprint, which I actually did do. I took some photos and a little bit of video of the index card stack. I have not punched it yet, but what I'm going to do is here. Let me make this a little bit so you guys can see. So this is the index card stack. This is sort of a prototype I've been working on. So it's got a type of ink. And what I have done here is I have let's see. I have three. It's basically I'm using these images here as dividers. I have 2, 1, 2, and 3. And these are going to be put together and hole punched, which I just haven't done yet. But so essentially these dividers are the lighter ones on the top, and basically I'm going to be stamping on this. For those of you who don't know, so when I was talking about my Etsy shop, the tagline is art for writers and lovers of fantasy and sci-fi. And so for those of you who don't know, I have a lot of I've been selling bookmarks for quite some time, and I really love making them. So one of my initial thoughts when I started getting into paper crafting was doing something for writers, since I know so many and all of that. So but it took me a while to figure out how I was going to do that. So I do have so I've been doing a lot of bookmarks. I do make cards as well and some other things, but I recently had an idea of doing something like this. And what I can do is hole punch it at least once. But it also depends on what people want too. If they think they would prefer having 2 punches and 2 binder clips. I have a package. Of course, it's not right here. But I do have a package of binder clips. I don't see it right now, but where you can do it this way and flip through that way when you need to use the cards inside. Feel free to let me know either in the chat live or in comments if you are watching the replay. Also, thank you to anybody who came in to hit the like button or watch live or watch the replay or whatever. It's highly appreciated. So anyway, so I've got as I was saying earlier, I'm planning on bringing at least I think it was here during this stream that I'm planning on bringing things like this, as well as some art covered notebooks with me to the con that I'm involved with, which is in September. So I'm kind of like getting cracking with that. Let's just ignore that that break timer. or the work timer, I'm sorry. And because I think I'm just gonna go at 1 o'clock. But and so I'm kind of cracking down and getting some art made, um, and um, and getting anything else done that I need to do, because I have been participating in the art show at Necronomicon Tampa. Um, for years now, since probably about 2016, approximately. So I always bring at least a little bit of something. Um, so my plan is to bring bookmarks and I also have some notebooks um, that I want to cover. Some of them I might just stamp like I did with this one. Um, and just keep it simple for a couple of them like this. And then I have a bunch of artwork that I'd like to use to cover notebooks with. I have mini notebooks like this one here. I haven't quite finished with it. And I need to put some something to cover these imperfections. And this is another just a beginning, like those, like the index cards are prototypes. I'm working with prototypes. Um, so yeah. So basically what I'll do until 1 o'clock is to go through the rest of the comments here. Yeah, yeah. Sorry about your pause. Okay. Also, Yolanda, I got homework done for a 10-week writing challenge I'm doing. Productive session, that's great. Awesome. Rachel finished reworking line edits and revisions for the prequel. Now on to finishing them for book one's relaunch and revised edition. Cool. Lynn Gray did pretty well. Finished outlining a scene in book two of their series and ate a snack. Cool. KJM writes, I'm working on first round of revisions. Just been reviewing my plot points to make sure they make sense. I went off from my original plan. Thank you very much, Yolanda. Thank you very much, you guys. When you when you go back to see the initial plan versus what actually got written, yeah, that can happen. Um, KJM writes, I kind of love it when my original plot goes sideways, as long as it's not hideous to fix down the road anyway. It keeps things interesting. It's interesting. Working with outlines at least gives you a roadmap, and even if you veer off sometimes you really get some interesting things that way. If you do just at least a little bit of pantsing, or planting, right? That's highly beneficial. Hello, happy August, happy if I can pronounce it, Lughnasah, to anyone who observes that. So one thing that I was thinking of doing with those index cards is, at least in a version, I might also have some more plain ones to put on in my coffee shop, so that people can request something specific with stamping. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this very large mermaid stamp that I have, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the end of her tail in the corner. It's like she's swimming away, and because I think that'll give it a fantastical element that would go well with my con. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up by saying thank you very much for watching, And um, I stream for Heart Breathings on Tuesdays from 11 to 1. I also stream on Thursdays from 11 to 1, but it's not related to um, heart breathings. But I am planning on streaming on Thursday. So same bat time, same bat channel. Uh, and is there anything else I wanted to say? I guess. Um, Thank you very much, everybody. And also, I will be having a separate, more artsy thing going on in a couple weeks now. On the 11th, I will be having just a special stream on Friday the 11th. Um, Alrighty, well, and I will be having a special guest anyway. All right, well, no problem, no problem. Um, See everybody later. Bye.